Jessica here with Midtown Comics. Alongside me is Gregg and John. These guys were fortunate enough to see the Ninja Turtles sequel yesterday. So I haven't seen it yet. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. So I'm going to ask them some questions to find out more about it. Starting with Gregg, what did you think about it?
It's a really fun movie. It feels like, if you grew up with the cartoon, the classic cartoon that is, it feels like they took a plot from one of those and stretched it into a feature film. It's silly, it's goofy, it just embraces all of the things you would find in the earlier cartoon. Not the earlier comics, the earlier cartoons. Those are two very different things.
So I think we have to talk about the new additions to the sequel, which is Bebop and Rocksteady.
Yes.
So what did you guys think about them?
I liked them. I liked the way they were portrayed. I liked the camaraderie or the relationship between the two that was shown in the film. It's very much, again, like the cartoon, so it was pretty cool. They worked in the film. It wasn't just something added in just to be there. They actually had a reason to be there, and it worked. It made the whole film move well, so I thought it was good.
Another new addition to the film is Stephen Amell as Casey Jones. So John, we'll start with you. How did you feel about Casey Jones?
I thought his portrayal of the character was actually pretty good. I liked the way they gave him an origin story in this film and showed his progression from what he's doing currently, how he fits into the whole story.
There is a noticeable difference between how he portrays Green Arrow and Casey Jones. That's something I was worried about going into the film, because when it comes to Stephen Amell, my only experience with the guy was through Arrow, and I didn't want to feel like, why is Arrow suddenly over in New York just running around beating people up with a hockey stick and a mask? It didn't feel that way. Definitely lighthearted. It's no secret that they're doing something different with the character in this movie. They've talked about that in the past. They've made it clear. They're trying to make it more layered, I guess. But you could still see elements of the Casey Jones that we all know and love in there. And, deep down, he's still a guy who loves hockey, loves beating up bad guys.
What's the buzz about Baxter Stockman?
Tyler Perry is Baxter Stockman in the movie. I thought it's a very silly and fun movie, and he fit in perfectly.
I thought it was awesome. I mean, I love Tyler Perry. I love how he's able to envelop himself in any role. With Baxter Stockman, he really did come off as that classic mad scientist with the lab coat. And so he just made it a lot of fun. He basically chewed all the scenery, and any scene he was in, he basically stole.
Let's avoid spoilers here.
Okay.
I think we should talk about Shredder.
Yeah, Shredder was recast in the film, and they kind of, they didn't really explain it at all. They just take it as if this guy has always been Shredder, and I think that was the right decision, especially since this Shredder feels more true to the version we saw a long time ago. And when it comes to villains in this movie, it really focuses on Krang, Bebop and Rocksteady, and Baxter Stockman. Shredder definitely has a fair amount of screen time, but he is not the primary antagonist.
So let's talk about the Turtles. How great were they?
It was fun. I mean, they get much more screen time, or at least I believe they do. It definitely felt like it. The first movie, it felt like they were secondary to April. And this way, it's kind of the opposite. April still has a lot of screen time, but the Turtles definitely get more time on screen. There's a stronger focus on the dynamics and how different their personalities are.
They had a very good storyline in terms of family dynamics and growing pains that we've all gone through if you have any siblings. So it was it was a really good take on that. It was something fresh. It was something, and again, they were the primary focus.
So I got a tough question for you guys, okay? I am a big fan of the 90s movies, and I'm sure there are a lot of other fans out there who are big fan of the 90s movies, grew up on them, all that jazz. Do you think people who are big fans of the 90s movies will like this film?
I think so. It's more in line with the second movie, Secret of the Ooze. They do get to use their weapons, don't worry. In that movie, parents were mad about the first movie being a little darker, which holds up so well, by the way. The 1990 movie is amazing. The second one, though, they tried to use props and stuff as weapons. In this case, it's more in line with that because it's a much sillier movie. It embraces all of the campy fun that could be had with the franchise. Yeah, it's just a good time. It's more comedy driven, and it's a very entertaining movie.
I'm really looking forward to seeing it. I hope you guys are too. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I don't know about you guys, but I really want some pizza now.
Let's go for lunch.
Yeah, can we go right now? All right, so we're gonna go do that. Bye, everybody.
It's a lot of fun. I don't know why it's so funny. I feel like you're moving the microphone closer to my face. Just